In the news now, ITNN 2020. Off energy micro power test 2. The generator 1 is now under a load. Brought to you by ITNN reporting on regenerative energy, a new type of renewable technology. I'm the architectural industrial inventor. My name is Gerald E. Bickham Picard. With video 2, you will see how generator 1 acts under a load. The NOCO charger drops its grid energy, all while charging its internal battery power. Please understand its internal power is 5,760 watts. Generator output energy is about 1,400 watts. A total of 7,100 watts thereabouts. Understand its internal energy also powers the prime movers as well as the electronics and the generator. Therefore, part of its internal energy can be used to power facilities if large enough.
Okay, video 2. NOCO charger coming off the grid, going over to the power strip.
Charger is charging internal power source.
This is the wattage
Using 175 watts.
for the NOCO. Variac is internal power.
Not connected to the grid.
Inverter 1 is on. Switch 1 is an internal power, Variac. Switch 2 is on grid power, NOCO.
Charger, the only device connected to the grid.
This is our battery reading.
Currently showing 28 volts while the machine is not operating, whereby only the charger is connected to the grid.
Alright, fixing to turn on the Variac. We're at 100 volts.
A lower voltage helps the machine to harmonize itself.
Commutators will be replaced with a brushless system. Be run off a computer system. These are what our battery reading is right now. Check to see what our RPMs are. $850.
RPMs or revolutions per minute. While Variac is set at 100 volts operating from its internal power source.
Switch 1 is internal power with the Variac. Switch 2, which is the NOCO, is on grid power. Primary mover 2 is on. We're running 2 primary movers with our batteries here. Got 4 12-volt batteries at 116 amps each in series and parallel. Variac is running off the internal power. The NOCO running off the grid right there. 4 to 14 watts. We're going to kick this thing up to about 120. Like we're at about 120 volts on the Variac. And again, going brushless here. That's our RPMs now.
Increases to 1,005 revolutions per minute.
Generator 1 is 238 volts at 5.9 amps.
1,416 watts.
These are your inverters. 1 and 2. This is our battery.
Battery drops to 24.78 volts from 28 volts.
That is what our battery bank is at right now, which is Fireflies.
To 24 volt system at 116 amp hours equal 5,568 watts of internal energy.
All right, we're going to switch on inverter 4.
Connected to the generator 1 energy output,
which is right here. Inverter 4 is on. That is running off of generator 1. This is what our RPMs are. That's the power going into inverter 4. There's our battery,
which has now dropped down to 24.64 volts from 24.7.
And now we're going to light some light bulbs. That's 100 watts, 200 watts, where we're at.
RPM drops to 948 revolutions per minute. Energy was 24.68, now it's 24.54 volts of internal energy.
300, 400 watts. Each bulb is 100 watts each. That's 400 watts.
910 revolutions per minute.
Where our RPMs are?
Down to 24.45
Where our
volts.
batteries are?
Generator 1 started off at 1,416 watts. It has now dropped down to 1,258 watts.
This is what the wattage is off the NOCO. Coming off the grid. That's the only power going to this machine. Is this NOCO right here.
Charger dropped to 396 watts.
400 watts running.
Now the load, it started at 416 watts.
That's our battery reading of the Fireflies.
While under a load with generator 1, the internal power source will stabilize at 24.33 volts, going up and down from 24.31 volts.
RPM?
Revolutions per minute stabilizes at 904 RPMs. While generator 1 is under a load, it is still at 1,258 watts. Powering generator 1, the 24 volt system will stabilize at going up to 24.33, down to 24.31, and so forth.
This is where we're at. $12 volts each, 116 amps each, 400 volts, 100 watts each on them bulbs there, off of the inverter 4.
Connected to generator 1.
That's what the machine is drawing off the NOCO, off the grid.
394 watts. OMP utilizes multiple prime mover technology. This 16-pole 4 prime mover production CAD image, equivalent to about 12 horsepower. Our 4 prime mover 16-pole CAD-CAM model, powering a 60,000 kilowatt cog-free generator. Be 2 models. OME Power can power your house with its internal energy, or you can power a cog-free generator that powers a facility or some other device. What is coming up next is Channel 9 explaining how Australia is reversing the grid with excess energy that we are adopting with OEMP, period.
While politicians argue about the future of our energy systems, it may have already arrived. A new Ausgrid trial is allowing solar customers with battery storage systems to sell their excess energy back into the grid and actually make money.
With a growing family, Johnson and Grace Lee are interested in the health of the planet as well as their finances. They have solar panels and a battery storage system, and it's paying off.
My electricity bills are quite low and at times close to zero.
They're part of Ausgrid and Reposit's virtual power plant trial. More than 200 customers across Sydney and the Central Coast are letting their power leftovers make the electricity grid more reliable for everyone else.
A battery in a house like this will provide power to the house during a blackout, but before that occurs, hopefully that battery has been able to be used by Ausgrid to stop the blackout from occurring at all.
When Ausgrid needs more energy in the system, it will send a ping to customers' batteries using the Reposit software. The excess energy stored in those batteries is then exported to the grid, where it can be accessed by other users. Reposit then pays its battery customers for the energy they supply, up to $135 a year, depending on the size of their battery.
It means our costs are lower across the board and everyone accesses a bit of renewables.
To be part of the trial, you have to own a solar battery system. There are plenty on the market, but the starting price is around $10,000, which means this isn't for everyone. But there are other incentives.
I wanted to be more self-reliant on my own energy sources.
If successful, this trial could provide a cheaper alternative to other investment in the electricity grid. Jane Azzopardi, 9 News.
Once installed in facilities or homes, OEM Power is able to reduce the amount of solar and wind turbines to power your home. Plus, if the power goes out, you're okay. ITNN 2020, reducing renewable costs with Off Energy Micro Power. Why not power real estate that already exists with OEM Power, your home? Saves a majority of your energy costs, which becomes disposable income in a few years. As mentioned earlier, reduces dependencies on renewables such as solar and wind turbines. ITNN reporting OEMP's ROI on investment next. Once installed, you're off the grid and your energy savings pays for the machine for the next 6 to 9 years. If you reverse the grid with your energy company, then your ROI could be around a year.